Hello and welcome to Inspired, your grown-up girl talk. I am Stacey Fleece here for another episode with Samantha Tradelius, as always. Samantha, I got to tell you, I came home the other day from running 42 errands that, like 40 of them I probably didn't need to do, but had wanted to knock them out. And you come in the house and like it's just you put your stuff down, you plop down on the couch, it's comfortable, it's cozy. Like I become definitely a homebody as I've gotten older, but there is some coziness and comfort in walking into your house and having your sofa and your blanket and your throw pillow and all the things. I think, it impacts our mood, right? It impacts our mood when we get home and the clarity we have in our brain. Am I wrong?
No, and I like the direction you're going with this opener here because our guest today is going to talk a lot about that and what she's doing to take things that people no longer maybe want and helping to create those spaces for people that do need to have that exact feeling that you're feeling. So, to our guest, Miss Carolyn, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you guys? Thanks for having me.
Dude, we're fired up to have you today. You're doing some great stuff.
Thank
Fleece,
you.
Fleece, let's just dig in.
Let's dig in. So we
Okay.
have Carolyn Flannery, who is with Make It Home Bay Area. And as Samantha said, your organization focuses on providing the things inside the home for those who are transitioning out of crisis of some crisis or another. And I do think that so many of us take for granted the things that we have in our house, the things that make us feel comfortable. And when we're talking about people that are coming out of homelessness, transitioning out of homelessness, or my favorite that I think we all forget about, those who age out of the foster care system at 18 and need a place to live. It is not just about the four walls.
No, it's not.
So
Um,
tell us, you are the founder and the CEO of this organization.
mhm,
You have a background in interior design,
I do.
which is not necessarily the
It's not the normal
driver
nonprofit route.
of this, but how did this idea even come to, how did this become a thought bubble in your head to start an organization that, you know, takes the four walls in and makes a house really a home?
So when I was working as an interior designer, I was also doing volunteer work with foster families, and I was providing respite care. I wasn't fostering myself, but foster parents can't just have anybody babysit their foster kids. So I was fingerprinted and tested and background checked and all that, so I could take foster kids in for a day, a week, whatever. And through that, I found out that foster kids don't get anything when they age out. So they might get help with a home, but they're not going to get anything else. And I naively thought somebody out there was handing out beds and sofas and kitchen tables.
Like
And
we're talking not even a kitchen towel to dry a
no,
dish, right?
no,
And
unless
frankly,
they
not
have a
even the
social
dish to be dried.
unless the social worker was scrambling to figure that piece out, which, as we know, social workers are spread super, super thin. It's not really their lane. Um, so I was also, as a designer, people are like, well, I don't want this sofa anymore. What are we going to do with it? And there's then COVID started and there was nowhere to put furniture. And I had been doing design for about 25 years and just had lost my spark of that, doing that, all the logistics. And as we all know, the logistics in COVID sucked. Um, so I started collecting stuff instead of throwing it away. And because I was involved with foster families, I was giving stuff away so that, you're turning your den into a kid's bedroom because you want to take kids in. So you want to say yes. So I was helping people say yes. Um, and it just snowballed.
Yeah.
And now I have this big organization where we serve, I don't know, over
Okay, but
600
but let's
households a
be
year.
honest. Let's be
But
honest. When you had this idea and you saw the need and you are coming from the place where people are looking to get rid of things and nice things, perfectly useful
mhm,
things, and
yes,
you're seeing the other side of people who need these things and you're like,
yes.
"Hey, this is brilliant. We can put this together."
We're just
What
gonna fix this problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what kind of pushback did you get from your industry friends? Because there had to have been
Uh,
some. Like, did they all think you were insane?
They already thought I was insane.
Fair.
They thought that, well, a couple of them walked into the warehouse once we got that far, and one of them specifically said, "Oh my God, Carolyn, what have you done?" That
Oh,
was
that's encouraging.
that was a funny moment. No, everybody was really supportive and everybody was giving me all their furniture and happy to have a solution. I mean, it wasn't just me needing that solution, it was all
Sure.
the interior designers that I knew. Um, and my the coolest thing about it was that I became the interior designer that was no longer designing, but taking all your extra good stuff. And I was now everybody's interior design bestie. So it was great.
It was a win-win.
It
So
was.
you and I met palling around on the nonprofit circle. We also
Mhm,
shared the same birthday, October
mhm.
17th, for those of you out there listening. And I immediately knew we were kindred spirits. You know, I've kind of always looked at you as kind of the cool gal in this little
Oh,
weird
well,
world of
thanks.
nonprofit spacing because you definitely, like myself, we kind of beat to a different drum, if you will.
It's not, it's really, the nonprofit world is very interesting. I come from an entrepreneurial background, so it was just another business that I was starting. It's kind of handy that the business now that I'm running just has to come out at zero.
Convenient.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, that convenient. The fundraising, is a whole different ball
Yes.
of wax that I wasn't quite expecting, but it's yeah, I definitely have a different approach, and we are not a run of the mill or normal
Which is why we
nonprofit.
love you, because we over here at the Sparkle Foundation, we toot to those same horns. You know,
Mhm.
I must give out makeithomebayarea.org website and your contact information at least once or twice
Thank
a
you.
week because people are constantly saying, "Hey, I've got this great stuff." And I was like, "There it is. Send it over
Go,
there.
go give it to her. Yep.
She'll take care of it." You know, some of the things that I've seen you kind of do throughout the year is, you've gotten a little. It's a storefront, right? That you have
Now we
now.
have yep, the new building has a store, which is fantastic because it supports, it's not so much a store as it is we look at it as another program that we're doing. That's nonprofit speak for another project. But everything that people buy in the store, all that money goes to serve our clients. So I have to buy mattresses because,
You can't do the used mattresses. No one
Nobody
will
wants.
take
well,
them. Nobody wants them.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can if I know that they came out of the guest room, that nobody slept on them or whatever, but it's super tricky and there's
Yeah.
not that many nice used mattresses out there. So we buy mattresses. So for me to provide the beds, I have to raise the money. So if I sell the Tiffany lamp that no family with a 4-year-old needs, um, then we turn it into beds. So we get people off the floor.
No, I think it's amazing that you have added additional streams of revenue donation, whatever we want to call it. And you are operating now, speaking of the warehouse, you are operating now out of an 11,000 square foot warehouse. So this is a grassroots organization that you started, which, as Sparkle Foundation, we have great appreciation for starting grassroots,
Mhm.
where you were serving maybe 300 households annually. You are now an operation of over 800 households a year. So divide that by how many months, like do the math on how
A
many you're
lot.
serving, 70 to call it 70 to 80 households a month,
Yes.
getting them furnished. But there is more impact than just the putting the furniture and putting the items into the four walls. you are also there's also an environmental impact of this.
Well,
So you're
yeah,
doing good
that's a huge
in
piece.
multiple directions. Tell us a little bit about that part.
So we sort of look at it, the mission is twofold. The mission is to save the stuff that shouldn't be thrown away and give it to people who can use it and need it. So it's basically solving a logistics problem. I'm the fulcrum. You don't need it, they need it, bring it to me. We're going to clean it up, make it pretty, and get it out to somebody who would like to come home to their comfy sofa and their blanket and their throw pillow and their pretty piece of art on the wall and just go, phew. So that's basically what we're
Well,
doing.
and let's just be clear too. It's not like you're just, shuffling just crap to crap. Like the stuff that
No,
people are getting,
no, we're picky. We're
you're
picky.
very picky, but
We're
when you go
picky.
into the warehouse, I mean, it's nice high-end things or things that maybe, are dated that get a little zhuzh.
There's, yeah, so we have a whole upholstery program. We have a whole woodworking workshop. So we're not like we're making it all nice because it's not just, and that's a concern a lot of times. Like social workers are like, well, are you going to give me some icky grandma sofa? No, I'm not, because I don't actually have to take the grandma sofas because there's so much stuff out there that people are getting rid of that we're picky. You can't just give us anything. We make you show us a picture. We make it actually, it's kind of hard sometimes to donate to us. You've got to give us a picture. You've got to bring it to us. We're just as much as you're helping your community, we're helping you get rid of something that you can't use anymore. So
And
it's not so much
Well, and I
it's
think
not
that a lot of
charity,
people
it's
forget,
dignity.
like for Christmas, we don't gift used items at all, period, end of story, because nobody
Right.
wants to open up a used jacket for Christmas. Like we gift new because that to us is part of our sparkle experience. And I think it's amazing a lot of times when people will just get, I mean, the intent I think is great. And I noticed a lot of this like in the fires when people were giving all their clothes, and Vonell over here downtown in Novato had collected, like went on the news and
Yeah.
people gave her, she called me crying. She's like, I
No,
don't know what to,
misery.
and
Misery.
the stuff that people were
Mhm.
giving was like, oh, like dirty, nasty, what? And I think
So
it
yeah,
was,
there's a couple of things that happen. There's two problems. There's one problem is it's called wish cycling. I wish I could recycle it. I probably can't, but I'm going to give it to somebody else who will say that they're going to help me, and I'm just going to sneak that over there and they'll figure it out. And then the other part is this is about dignity, the
yes,
same reason you're giving new jackets away. Um, do not give me your sofa that your dog slept on for the last 10 years and it's faded and it's ripped and it's pilled, et cetera, et cetera. If you wouldn't give it to your judgy mother-in-law, do not give it to me because we're not. I used to run this pajama program for foster kids, and we were supposed to get new pajamas and new books, and we would get these skanky, holes stained pajamas, and it's like, no, I have to throw these in the trash
yeah.
because I'm not giving these to a foster kid just because they should be grateful because they don't have anything. It's ridiculous.
I love the mother-in-law litmus test, by the way. I think that's fantastic. Um, so and I think this is really interesting what you started because in addition to the furniture bank and in addition to the retail or the resale store, the shop,
Mhm.
uh, the things that don't make sense, right? That are high
Right.
end that you can sell. You have also started the Renew program, which is a workforce development initiative, specifically around the things that maybe need to be done to
Yep.
slightly elevate this furniture to where it needs to be. Tell us a little bit about how Renew came into play and how that's going so far.
Okay. So it's finally going amazingly.
I love the concept. Was it a tough
We
launch?
um y- yes,
Fair. Okay.
it was a long so workforce development is this whole very tricky nonprofit world. I can't use the word apprentice because that's like a third rail. Um, there is no, there, there's not enough upholstery training programs in the United States. And as an interior designer, knew that the good workrooms had a wait list of 3 months, 6 months. So if we double the workforce, then the wait list is still 6 weeks. So we know automatically that there's room for the skills. There's not enough people teaching it. There's a huge interest. I mean, reuse is one of the biggest growing markets
Oh,
in the country.
absolutely. It's a hot button now.
Yeah.
It is. And we've got all this beautiful donated designer fabric. We've got all these amazing pieces of furniture that are being donated, and we can teach people. Like, you can't screw it up. It was headed to the dump.
Yeah.
So it's already wrecked.
What a cool idea, though,
It's
to
amazing.
sort of take what you have
Mhm.
and take it one step further
Yeah.
to further serve the community and serve people who would want to be involved in a training and incubation program like this.
Well, and it's very fun. It's a really fun aspect of the business. And I courted Amanda Hardesty of Hardesty Dwyer for years. And she just sold, she's a very fantastic, fabulous, amazing upholsterer. She had an upholstery business in the city, super high end. And she sold that business and has joined us and is leading the training program. And so the skill set that she has teaching, understanding the business, the connections that she has, it's been absolutely amazing. So we're very, very lucky to have somebody who is so dedicated to the business, but also really inspired to help, which is fantastic.
So here's the question I always love because I sit in your seat, sister. What's been the hardest part of the journey? Because you and I both come from business entrepreneurial world, and now here we are in
Mhm.
this nonprofit world where things are a little bit different. What's been your
Yeah.
biggest just I don't want to call it a roadblock, but something you had to learn that you didn't know you needed.
Um, well, if you don't think you are working hard enough, then start a nonprofit. I've never worked so hard in my whole entire life. Um, and I thought I worked hard before. The biggest challenge has been balancing family and marriage with the need. The need is never ending in make it home. There's always somebody else who needs furniture. There's always more furniture that can be donated. So it's this constant. I mean, I'd love to say we're making a dent and decreasing the problem, but we're not yet. Um, so for somebody who has a husband who is, I'm lucky enough that he wants to spend time with me, he can get a little irritated.
He gets a
Well,
little bit.
nonprofits do become a family affair. We like to refer to it as the mob, that you marry into it,
Yeah, you're either
and
in or you're out.
it just becomes part of the fabric of you too. So,
So
uh,
he loves to say that when I said, when I expressed the desire to build an empire, he wasn't thinking it was going to be a nonprofit empire that didn't make any money. So,
I mean, there's that. He should have asked the right questions.
Yeah, I
well,
think
yeah,
the
it's on him.
I think the executive director spouses can all find themselves in a
Yeah,
support group because I do feel like it is an interesting space. So
it's a lot.
yeah. So I mean, are there organizations like this country nationwide or are we
Yes.
okay, so there are other
So it's the whole thing started on the East Coast, and it's sort of, if you look at all the furniture banks across the country, it's like super, super populated on the East Coast and then kind of sprinkles. And then on the West Coast, there's like 10. Um, we all know each other on the West Coast, and there's a lot of connecting across the country with different furniture banks. There's a group called, I'm going to get it wrong, but it's Furnished Together or something like that. It's a new network of furniture banks. And so oddly, Nobody, nothing, anywhere, federal government, HUD funding, nothing says that furniture is essential, which I would like to walk into the HUD office and tell the head of HUD, who I don't even know their name right now, because I'm terrible at that stuff. Let me take your desk and let me take your bed. I'm going to be back in a month.
Yeah,
And
let me
then
know
we're
what
going to
works.
talk about how furniture is or isn't essential, because that's ridiculous. But so this group is coming together to start to do some lobbying in Congress and the Senate. Right now, there's a bipartisan bill in, once again, not political. It's either in Congress or the Senate. I have no idea. But it's to make HUD funding, COC funding, able to be used for furniture. Right now, everybody's doing a crazy dance to make sure that the people who need furniture can get some.
Yeah.
A lot of, let's find the loophole, let's find the language. How do we have to categorize it so that we can legitimately provide this furniture? So
The
that's what's
fact
going
that the
on.
government doesn't look at housing stability in a holistic sense in that way is shocking, annoying, maybe not shocking. Maybe it's not
It's not
shocking. It is
shocking.
annoying.
Yeah.
And as you said, I'd like to see them, you know, live
Let's try
without
and
furniture.
everybody. So I tell that to everybody. If you furniture poverty, it's hard for us to understand because most people we talk to have always had a bed. Well, not everybody has a bed. Like lots of people don't have a bed. And
I still
can you,
remember that scene in The Blind Side where Michael Orr
yeah.
said,
Mhm.
"I've never had one before," and Sandra Bullock, not obviously the actress, said, "A room to yourself," and he said, "No, a bed."
Yeah.
And here's a kid who's in, I mean, he's, 6'12" and in high school and he
And
never had a
it's
bed.
true. It's
And
completely, that is true.
yeah, and I'm sure not a unique situation.
Well,
So
you've delivered gifts before. I mean, we've delivered gifts 1,000 times to homes when you walk in and mom's on a mattress on the floor and not in an actual bed. And
Yep.
Stacey actually called me and goes, "Hey, we need to buy this woman a bed." And sure enough, we flipped it around, and I don't remember how or what or how we made it happen, but
Yep.
yeah, she had a home that she'd saved for and went through a program to get and was so proud of it and wanted me to come in and tour it and I did. And she was most proud of the washer and dryer because she had scrimped and saved to buy the washer and dryer. But then when we went into her bedroom, there was basically nothing there and she had an
Yep.
air mattress in the closet. And
Yeah.
she said, "Oh, I blow up the air mattress at night. Sometimes I don't feel like doing it." Her son had a bed, and so she made sure he had a bed, but she had nothing. Anyway, slightly
as
off
you guys
topic, but
as you guys know, moms will sacrifice everything for their kids.
of
And in
course,
a one bedroom apartment with 5 kids, mom is sleeping on the sofa if there's a sofa in the living room,
absolutely.
so yeah, it's
Absolutely. Well, I think it's amazing that the furniture banks are now starting to bond together and create those
yeah,
partnerships.
it's
But on
awesome.
a local level, what sort of partnerships have you had to develop to in order to have this successful nonprofit? Because this is not, I'm sure there's a lot of hands that need to be involved, or at
Yes.
least a lot of hands that need to be supportive of what you are trying to do.
So we have connected with, so we're serving all over the Bay Area. We're not just serving Marin County. We're probably serving 13 counties because nobody else is doing what we're doing. Um,
How far out are you've got the obviously the 9 Bay Area counties.
we will go regularly up to Mendocino. We will go to Turlock. We will go to Sacramento. So it's, I think all told, we can do about 13
wow,
counties.
that's awesome.
Fantastic.
Um, so wait, I'm sorry, I forgot the question.
Just like your partnerships.
Oh,
What
right.
what partnerships have you
So
had to develop?
we've partnered with over, I want to say it's over 150 social agencies, all of the health and human services in every county. We've connected with boards of supervisors. We've connected with mayors and city councils because that's, an important place to get some grant money. We've also connected with one of the biggest places we've connected with in the last couple of years is with these different developers that are actually developing low income housing. so that we can get in ahead of people and furnish their units ahead of time. And that's a whole volunteer design extravaganza that happens. And then people walk in and they're just so happy and blown away. Um, we partner with stagers, we partner with organizers, we have a partnership with Pottery Barn, we have a partnership with Crate and Barrel, we have a partnership with Meredith Bear, a big stager. We have a partnership with Sunrise Home locally where they bring us a truckload of furniture. Pizzolo is a big stager and furniture
And they
supplier.
have to turn over their inventory.
Yep.
They have to send it someplace
Yep.
furniture poverty, I'm sure is a phrase that 99% of the people listening to
Never heard of.
this, watching this, have never heard of until this moment.
Yep.
So I hope that hits hard because it certainly hit me hard when you said it. And I think everyone can relate to it. I think everyone can understand it. And
So
so
yeah.
in spirit of that, I want to talk a little bit about the Salvage and Style Gala that's coming up.
Oh, Stacey's
Um,
segues today are so good. She's
they're
just like,
they're
all
on
the
point, aren't
women.
they?
I'm
They're on
like, I
point.
don't even need to fucking talk because she's just moving us around.
Well, I want to make sure we talk about Salvage and Style because fundraising is hard and what you're doing is so important. So
Mhm.
coming up in September, give us a
September
teaser. Tell
26th.
us what you got.
So on September 26th, we will host I think it's our fifth gala. It will be our sixth birthday. And what we do is we invite interior designers into our space to collect a bunch of stuff to decorate the tables. So every
Oh,
single
that's really
table,
cool.
it is very fun. So every single table is super unique. They all kind of fight to be the most over the top. And then it's in September, so holidays are coming up. So you can then buy the whole tabletop as part of the silent auction. And then we do, we always make sure that we have amazing, amazing wine and amazing food because if you're going to go to a gala, you should at least get that. Um, and then, the fund to need and the live auction and the silent auction and all of that. But really the most special part of it is bringing that interior design talent. There's not a lot of ways for interior designers to be able to give back that way and also show off their talents.
Yeah.
So we're getting a lot of the interior design community working with us, partnering with us, and they'll come in and do volunteering with the studio or whatever. They're donating their client stuff, but then they also get to come in and do this fun decorative thing.
And
So
tickets drop on July 10th,
yes,
and this will sell out. So do not sleep on this,
it
team.
it will sell out. It has sold out historically. Every year it's sold out. So it's exciting. It's fun.
Now you all see what I was saying when I said that when I saw Carolyn the first time, I knew that she was the cool girl in the nonprofit space. She's doing the work, she's walking the walk, talking the talk, and bringing in industry, professionals from her past life to really help them, shine in a way to give back in different ways. MakeItHomeBayArea.org is where you can find your tickets to the event coming up on the 26th. You can find out about more ways to get involved, to donate, if you are interested in any of these apprenticeship programs. I mean, just there's a lot of information there. We can't say thank you enough to you, our dear friend, for joining us today. We hope that everybody this year, this month, this week, and this summer gets out there and is inspired.